Hello, welcome to Gilboys YouTube channel. Today in the workshop I want to demonstrate how our three waxes work. I'm going to introduce actually a starter kit. This is our polishing starter kit. In it has all three of our waxes. Also it has our pure cotton buffing cloth, our 4-0 oil-free wire wool for applying the polish, an instruction book which tells you how to apply it, as well as other information related to the waxes and the workshop and us. A little surprise gift for you, especially for the gardeners. I won't tell you much more about that. Find out for yourselves. And obviously you have the waxes. Now these are 3 tins of all of our range of wax polishes for furniture. It's the pure gold, which is a clear, colourless polish. The rose gold, which has a brown, nutty mahogany sort of colour to it. And the antique gold, which has a more of a dark oak, Jacobean sort of colour to it. None of them are very, very strong colours, which I'll demonstrate to you now on this piece of elm, which I've got here. I've pulled this piece of elm, just put this down. I've pulled this piece of elm out of our store. We have a container right outside this workshop with loads and loads of pieces of old antiques in there, which we use for restoration and repair work. This is a piece of elm. As you can see, it's dusty. I've done nothing to it. I'm going to mask it off and apply our 3 polishes so you can see the effect it has on this piece of elm. It may give you an idea of what it would do to your furniture at home. Right, let's get going. Well, I'll do it as it's in the order it is in this pack. So we'll put the pure, the rose and the antique on here. So I'll try and work out how to get in here. I should know, I've done it enough times myself. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to be vicious. I'm going to rip it open. Pure rose and antique, this is pure. Okay. Right, there's the pure gold. Now there is enough in each one of these pots to do a fairly sizable piece of furniture, a bureau, a chest of drawers, or a dining table. As long as it's not too dry a finish on there, but I'm sure actually there'll be plenty enough in each one of these pots to do at least one piece of furniture. But you can see inside there, that pure gold is spectacular. It looks, well, it looks like clotted cream. Obviously Devon clotted cream, because we're close to Cornwall, it can't be Cornish. So Devon clotted cream, but it's lovely. Look at the colour of that. And that, all of our waxes are made with beeswax from Buckfast Abbey, and it comes direct from the Abbey. We're the actual furniture restorers for the Abbey. I've got some up here actually. There's some beeswax here. This is the honeycomb straight from one of the hives at Buckfast Abbey, and it's beautiful stuff, and it's organically produced by the beekeepers at the Abbey, and it's all blended with other organic waxes. That's T1 grade carnauba wax that we have in here. We also have a Japan wax, miracle wax, and a berry wax, pure turpentine, pure gum turpentine as well. It's the world's best ingredients are inside our wax polishes. There was no compromise. Yeah, enough talk, let's get on. That. Right, this is really soft wire wool, or steel wool. You can tear it with your hands. It is as soft as cotton wool, so don't be afraid. I always apply wax polishes with steel wool, and most furniture stores, French polishers, will all use fine steel wool to apply the polish. It's a great way of transferring the wax evenly to the surface. and efficiently. So I'm just going to charge the wire wool. Our wax goes quite a long way because it's got a lot of rich waxes in it, as I've just explained. I'm not going to dab this on, I'm going to apply it with the grain, in the direction of the grain, and just work my way across. Now I am applying it sparingly to the surface, taking off any excess. There you go, and it's as easy as that. I'll do that front edge. There we go. So I've barely touched that actually. So there is quite a lot of wax in there to do one good piece of furniture. We're going to do the same for the rose gold here and the antique gold. While I'm here unravelling this from the cardboard, all of our packaging is made with at least 70% recycled cardboard. It's all fully recyclable. We're plastic free. And we do a return and recycle refill scheme, should I say, return and refill scheme with our glass jars. The rose gold's got that little bit of warm nuttiness sort of to it. Unlike other waxes, because we've made it here in the workshop and we're furniture restorers, we've made it to what we think would be the best colour to try and enhance those sort of mahoganies, and warmer sort of furniture that's got a sort of a brown warmth to it. And the rose gold will help emphasize that. It's not the idea that it changes the colour dramatically, it's there to emphasize and refresh that finish. So that's that one done. That's the rose gold. Let's head on to the antique. You can buy more of this wire wool on our website. Comes in bigger packs than this. I mean, the idea of this is the whole idea of these small tins. This is a starter kit, really. You've got everything, but in a small version. So if you're at all unsure of what to buy, you just buy the 3, test them out, test which ones work best for you, and then go for it. Okay, so there you have it. There's all 3 of them applied to this piece of elm. Like I say, I didn't clean it, I scrubbed it out of the workshop, out of the store, and we've wax polished it. Now, you may be able to see in front of me here that I've got various pieces of wood. Again, this is another way of showing how our waxes work, but also it all helps people that want to wax polish their bare wood. If you want to wax polish bare wood, then this is an example of what it may look like, and you can make your choices of which way you want to go about it. So here in front of me, this is oak. I've got oak, ash, mahogany and pine. Not necessarily a true representation of what you get outside in the antiques world, but these are just give variations of colour. Here's a piece of I think it's American oak. What I've done is I've masked off half of it, and I've sealed this area here with a little bit of shellac sanding sealer, and I've just lightly French polished it. So I've just put a few rubbers over it, nothing more than that, and then let that dry, and I wax polished it with pure gold. So this is the pure gold. And I waxed the sealed area and also the open whitewood area, bare wood here. So I don't know if you can see the reflection off of that. Now, the wax will be readily absorbed by the bare, dry surface of the open oak here. And on top where it's sealed, it will go a lot further, but you also still get a waxy finish. This has got a bit more of a satin, well, not quite gloss, but it's got a satin sheen to it, and it allows the colour of the wood to come through. That's what happens when you seal it, seal wood with a finish. It allows the colour of the timber to come through. And here you can see a sheen, but it's still quite sort of grey. Now, protection-wise, this is really quite important, I think. If you're looking at applying a wax polish to bare wood and just doing a wax finish, it's not going to give you much protection. Even with our wax, which has the best beeswax, the best carnauba wax, which is the hardest of all natural waxes, and all those other really, really good waxes in there, it's all going to be absorbed into the timber. And yes, it will give some protection and some look, but you need to build up so many layers of it over such a long period of time for it to have a really, really good effect. And still, it's not going to be the best protection. I always recommend personally that you seal it. You seal the wood. You don't have to have this as more of a shinier sort of finish. You could use a matte hard wax oil or a satin hard wax oil or a sanding sealer or anything along those sort of lines. It's not really relevant, the type of product really, but as long as you seal it first, they'll give you much, much better protection. I tend to prefer hard wax oils. Hard wax oils are lovely and easy to apply and give you a lovely finish. On the back you can see this is bare, untreated wood. It's got no reflection off it whatsoever. If I flip it over, turn it around there, you can see there's a slight reflection. You can build it up if you want to, but you're not going to get as much coverage as you do if you'd sealed it first. So there it is on all of these pieces of wood. We'll show more of these on our website. If you go to our help and advice section on www.gilboys.co.uk, I see people saying www.gilboys.co.uk, go there, have a look. You will see these pieces of wood here and the effects of using pure gold, rose gold and antique gold on them. One thing I will point out here, which is quite interesting actually, again, this is our antique gold, and what's happened here is when we've applied it to the polished surface, yes, you can see it's ever so slightly tinted it compared to the clear, colourless pure, but it's very subtle. But what it has done, where it's bare wood, it's really taken the colour out of the wax and it's gone into the open pores of the grain and darkened it. It's almost like a lined oak, but it's not. It's taken the colour and stained it and darkened it down. Here on the back, you can see what it was. And that's a coloured wax, so that's our antique gold on bare wood. You could build it up, but you can see what it's doing. It's staining, colouring the wood, where it won't have done that so much there at all because it's sealed. So you can see examples of this on the website. I won't go through all of these now. You can see what the effect it has. And I think it really is quite sort of helpful, that's the word, quite helpful for you. Right, now we're going to wait another 10 minutes or so before we buff the finishes we've just applied. We'll come back and do that, and hopefully you'll get to see when I reveal the masking tape what it looks like. Okay, so we waited half an hour. We're going to buff the 3 waxes on this elm plank here, this elm board. But before we do, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. Hit the little subscribe button down in the right hand corner of your screen. And once you have, hit the notification bell and you'll get notified every time we upload a new video to YouTube. Right, let's move on. Let's open up this little bit of buffing cloth. This is pure cotton open weave buffing cloth. Perfect for buffing the wax. And why we want the open weave is because we want the surface to stay as cool as possible. What we're doing here when we're buffing, the action of buffing, unlike, we're not trying to vigorously buff so you're taking the wax off. We don't want it heat generated. What we're doing is smoothing out all those lovely cells of wax that are nice and flat and lined up, nice and smooth, allowing the light in, allowing you to see the wood, and give you that lovely soft satin sheen that we're hoping to achieve. Let's do the pure gold first. It's not lint free. There are little bits of cotton that come off, but sorry about that. Let's get going. Look at that straight away. I didn't really know what was underneath or on top of this elm. I know it had some sort of finish on it, but wasn't anything particular. I didn't choose it for its finish. It just was a nice piece of wood. And straight away you can catch that in the light and see the reflection there. Wonderful. Okay, that's the pure gold buff. The pure gold is a clear, colourless polish. It can be applied to all wood species, all types of wood, all wood finishes. It will there to enhance what naturally is there below it. I think, well, that looks fantastic. Right, let's move on. Oh, you can see there's no polish really come off of there. There's only a small residue that's come off on there. Let's move on to the rose gold. You remember the rose gold had a brown nutty colour to it. Let's see how that buffs. Look at that. I can see, it's just, I know we make our polishes, but it just gives me great pleasure when you see the natural colour of timber coming through when you've done a little bit of work. It's hardly anything. All we've done is applied our wax polish, but the difference between a really good wax polish and those cheap polishes full of chemicals that are out there that say they're wax, but what sort of wax you don't know. Look at that. That elm is really singing there. I hope you can see that, but it looks great. And lastly, let's move on to the antique. Destroy my display. Look at that. If you do get a build-up of wax, there's a little bit there, just open the cotton cloth up, fold it back around, blow off the lid, and then start again. Look at that. That is absolutely incredible. Right, it's as easy as that. I'll take the masking tape off of this now, and then you'll be able to see the original elm underneath, and hopefully the very slight colour variation that's happened. Now, when I do this, bear in mind, our waxes aren't intended to change the colour of furniture. They're there to enhance. So don't use wax polish to change colour of things. That's not the right way to do it. I think if I was to be wax polishing a piece of elm like this, I would probably choose either the rose or the antique. It won't matter too much. I quite like the antique finish there on this piece. But remember, it does change depending on what types of furniture you've got at home, the amount of UV exposure, all sorts of things that will change. But also remember, you can't do any harm. You're not going to do any harm by using wax polish. If you think you've got it wrong for whatever reason, just wipe it off with a little bit of white spirit. It won't hurt. White spirit, don't use meths, but white spirit, you'll be fine. But just get stuck in and give it a try. If you're at all concerned, apply it to a discrete area on the bottom of a plinth, on the back or somewhere. Apply the polish, have a look, wait 20 or 30 minutes, then buff that area, and you think, oh, off and away you go. I'm sure you'll have success, because that looks fantastic. I hope that's helped you. Like I say, for more information, go to our website, www.gilboys.co.uk. I'm just going to keep